Hi there, Todd McKellips, the Executive Director of the Washington Tiny House Association with another fact video. Q&A video. Today's question comes from Heidi. She says that I have land in Matlock or Mason County and we're looking into a tiny house on wheels. We want to live in one while we take our time to build our house ourselves. They said they consider it an RV and it only can be lived in for 6 months. We would have to have it as a fixed house. Have you ever looked in Mason County? Are there any ways around that to live permanently or just longer than 6 months? Thank you for your time, Heidi. Thank you, Heidi, for your question. I get this one all the time, and that's why I'm keying in on this one, which I just received 4 days ago. Basically, how it's looked at is they have not adapted Appendix Q or the state code as of yet. They really don't know. Stuff hasn't trickled down to the county and the city levels just yet on what the actual law says in the state of Washington. So Senate Bill 5383 was a tiny house community bill which didn't mandate that cities need to or counties need to allow for tiny house development. But what it did is it changed state code. The State Building Code Council met and adapted Appendix Q with some revisions, and they basically legalized tiny houses as a product in the state of Washington. So when we've been meeting with local cities and jurisdictions, we've been kind of telling them, hey, do you want to discriminate against this housing type? They've been mainly just going and looking at the RVs and being on wheels, saying it's an RV code issue up till now. So when we kind of go in, we can educate that local city, local jurisdiction on what a tiny house on wheels is, and that's an actual legally factory-built structure product. Then they can kind of ease off. They realize it's more like a mobile home, or if it's temporary, then it's more like an RV, like you said. Tiny houses on wheels can be built either RV code or housing code. So if you want it to live in it permanently, then it's a factory assembled structure, just like a mobile home, and then it needs to be looked at as such. So one thing we're trying to avoid is a lot of taxes and permits and impact fees if we can. We're trying to advocate for that, but at the same time, meeting with these local jurisdictions, they might understand it a little bit better if you're telling them it's a mobile home and you want to put it on your lot. Also, the big loophole that you talked about with living in a house or building a house and you're looking for something to live in part-time is that RVs do not have a term length of stay normally in the state of Washington on how long you can live in it while you're building a normal house. 10 years, 20 years, I've actually asked a lot of jurisdictions and there is no limit. So that might be something to look into. The Washington Tiny House Association can reach out to your local jurisdiction and find out all those rules and whatnot. There's a lot of time that comes into play sometimes meeting with them. So we do have to charge a fee for that. But we'd like to negotiate with you and show you kind of what we could do for you and see what kind of relationships we can build in your local jurisdiction. And we might have some other people in your local jurisdiction that can actually help you more often and create a little meetup group. So thank you for your question, Heidi. I hope this clears up a little confusion, but there's a lot of confusion at the city level and the county level. And we might be there to educate them. So thank you for your time. Take care. Bye-bye.